Good morning, lads. That's the nether portal that leads to my main base, and right next to it over here is a nether fortress. So today we're going to finally make use of it and turn this into a wither skull farm. A wither skeleton farm. The main thing I want from it is obviously the skulls, but also, that was rude, coal. I want loads and loads of coal, and I'm not positive what design I'm going to go with. I haven't watched any videos on it yet. Do wither skeletons go after turtle eggs? Do they go after iron golems? What makes these guys tick? So those are some of the things we'll explore. First, we need to pick an area to build in. So about here is where we want to build it. This is like the furthest point from big land masses, so I'd have to do minimal mob proofing. I do have to tear down a lot of existing fortress, but that's a lot easier than, say, if we built it over here, we'd have to mob proof this whole area. So the first thing I want to do is see if the skeletons are attracted to turtle eggs. They're obviously attracted to me. We'll place one here and here and then get out of town. The other thing I want to try is, well, this is actually good because that means that we can get the pigmen and all that stuff to go a certain direction and these guys another direction. The other thing I want to try, we'll just build them right here. Perfect. Okay, so he doesn't like pigmen, and skeletons were fighting him, and he was fighting skeletons. Huh, he also gets hit by the wither effect. Okay. So that means I can use him, if I put him in a safe spot, to attract the wither skeletons, and I can use eggs to attract the other zombies. And yeah, we'll do that right here. Here's a time lapse of me tearing down a lot of fortress. I've built a platform here, and it might be one too high, but I think it's correct. But you'll see, I guess I'll fly around. But just dug out a little bit. I was planning on digging out some more, but then I decided to put my AFK spot above the nether roof. And I only left the base of the beacon to help me find the AFK spot. So it's just the smallest amount. So this is the only hole in bedrock I have right now. I thought about making one over there, but I really don't need one. And I do need to make this hole better, because I should just clear out all the bedrock in this area, but that's not today's project. That's the gold farm. Then we go towards -400. And this is why I left the beacon. I can vaguely see it in the distance there. There it is. And then that will be my AFK spot. I'll go ahead and grab my camera account to show you just a cool image why the AFK spot is up there. So there's the platform that we built. And this isn't a complete platform. I didn't want to build too much if I was incorrect. But basically what we want to look at is all the mobs. Now I'm going to go ahead and fly up to my AFK spot. And all the mobs disappear. Now in theory, there we go. Mobs can spawn on the platform, but not on the ground beneath. But I don't see any wither skeletons. Something else, if it jumps off, you'll see it despawn right away. That's how I'm going to get rid of any pigmen that spawn. And hopefully I'll find something that magma are attracted to. So they'll just jump off and exit the render distance. Like that. But I don't see any wither skeletons yet. I'll go ahead and add like a platform underneath and see if skeletons can spawn there. So I added a little platform here. I also looked it up, and wither skeletons can only spawn in light level 0. So I moved the beacon down because the beam doesn't emit light, just the base of it. So I moved it down. Also, the end chest emits a little bit of light, so I removed it as well. So hopefully one of those things fixes the problem. Let's go ahead and get up on the platform. So we've got wither skeletons on the lower platform, but not on the upper one. Although apparently this is a great design for magma cubes. So when the frogs get released, you just need to go to, I think this is a basalt. Basalt delta. Make yourself a little platform, and you have all the slime. I'm not sure if they're aggroed to frogs, so if they'd try and kill them. But I don't see any wither skeletons spawning on this platform, so we'll just lower the platform down to this level, and we should be good to go. So I just watched, this guy was able to make it across, but that's because a slime pushed him across. I'm going to try and remove this trapdoor here to see if that would still be possible. I can always just move the egg a little further away. Something else I need to deal with is all the mobs that aren't wither skeletons. I want to try magma blocks, but I don't know if that will burn the blazes, because I don't know, are blazes touching the ground? Because they looked like they're floating to me. But I know magma blocks doesn't hurt. It would kill all the skeletons. I don't know about wither skeletons. Obviously, wither roses would be the best, but the problem with that is I don't have any in this world, and I'm not going to make a wither rose farm just for this. It'd be nice to have a wither rose farm in general, but I'll probably, if I do need wither roses, just let the wither run free in the overworld and have it kill a bunch of chickens or something. Welcome to Chicken Island. As you can see, I've got a few chickens. In fact, I should probably let them out, because I should be able to spawn the wither now and convert all these chickens into wither roses. Sure, I'll have a whole wither rose farm later, but for now I just need a few. And that's what all these volunteers are for. And of course, this over here is the hatchery. I've got quite a few chickens over there. I'll keep a couple chickens in my inventory. That way if they all die I can redo all this. Let's see, the sun's going down. Let's go ahead and sleep through the night. And I'm not actually going to be here when the wither's doing all of its destroying, because otherwise it'd just be distracted with me. So I'll go ahead and pull in the camera account and spawn the wither. In the end, I only got like 110 roses. So I'm just gonna place it like this and see if it has any effect on the farm. I also changed out, oh, I removed the trapdoor. That's what I did. So I also want to see if that has an effect. So let's go back to our AFK spot and check. Alright, pigmen drop off into the abyss just like they should. Wither skeletons are obviously unaffected by the flower. Skeletons are unmoved. I assume if they were to bump into the flower they would take damage, but I honestly don't know. We'll chill for like 30 minutes, see if anything instructive happens, and then we'll add the iron golem. Oh, that's what I wanted to see. Is it gonna? It did. That means that's not 4 hours of my life wasted. So in theory, if I were to make this all with a rose farm, which one day I will. Okay. Then it would weed out everything that's not a wither skeleton, thus increasing the drops. And yes, I do see all these guys jumping around up here. That one should, I was just gonna say that one should despawn soon. But they are also affecting the drops. Good. The roses also mess with those guys. This is good. So this setup is kind of what I want to go for. I just want to spawn him in and see what happens. And he might not spawn because the walls are too close, but no, there he is. So now he shouldn't try and leave. And if he does, I can always put blocks in his way so he can't. But I want to see what happens just like this. And I have plenty of extra pumpkins and iron, so not worried how many iron golems this might ruin. He looks like he wants to try something. Oh, he lost. Oh, big L, big L. Iron Golem 1, Slime 0. And the Wither Skeleton cannot see him. This is another thing I want to know. Will Blaze just start shooting him? Doesn't look like it. Slime definitely want to get to him. Or Magma, but they lose hard. And then of course skeletons. These are armored skeletons. My biggest fear is that they would just come over here and shoot him. But I could always just surround the place with wither roses. I should have enough for that. Alright, let's go make some adjustments. Okay, this is working much better. A few things that I'll need to do is change these two glass blocks into just a thinner block. That way, like, this doesn't happen. The two are fighting to get in. Oh my goodness. And this was what I was afraid of. Skeletons. So I need to make it possible for the wither skeletons to see the iron golem without regular skeletons seeing him. Normally Blaze don't get aggroed, and if Blaze ever shoot, the farm just fails. Well, for one thing, the iron golem dies. For another, they create fire, which is a light level, and wither skeletons won't spawn. So, there's a few things I can change. So I've made quite a few different changes. One of which is I added stairs to the AFK spot. So if I want to, I can just jump up here and everything on the platform will despawn. Come back down and things can spawn again. But I also added 2 more blocks. Well, here you can see the difference. To see if it would still work, and occasionally you get a guy that doesn't aggro to the golem. But he normally gets pushed off by pigmen or despawns. So it's not the worst, and I think it's worth having the stand about when you get the extra spawning spaces. Also, I completely enclosed him, so now the only way that he can get hurt is if a skeleton is standing all the way in the back and shoots him. But that normally doesn't last for long because it normally gets excited and then runs at him, because that makes sense. But this always happens, whether the trapdoors are there or not. If the trapdoors aren't there, it's worse. So there's an example of a skeleton. It normally runs at him. It normally dies but yep, I added 2 snow layers so the wither skeletons can still see him, but the skeleton standing here cannot. Yeah, I could just add another layer, see if skeletons back here could still see him, and if wither skeleton. Yeah, I'll do that next time I change out the trapdoors. Oh, the skeleton backed up, but he shot a blaze, which that happens quite often as well. This is my solution to the wither skeleton getting stuck. This has worked pretty well. They just run right off, no problems. But something that you'll notice is lava will flow straight down and not cover the 2 corners. So an easy fix for that is just to get a block in this spot right here. Then break it, and now it all flows perfectly. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the spawning places to make the farm a little bit more efficient and see how much that helps. So buttons and half slabs are 2 ways to spawn proof an area. Buttons are a 1-for-1, but half slabs are actually a 3-for-6, also known as a 1-for-2. So you're literally doubling the amount of blocks you have. So started with 64, and now I have, save this one, 2 stacks. So definitely prefer half slabs just because they're cheaper. Also, if you're going to use half slabs, make sure you're making it bottom slabs, because if you place a half slab here, that is still a spawnable place. It needs to be here. So I went ahead and collected a bunch more wither roses so I could expand the platform a bit. So now I've got a bunch more spawning places and more wither roses to kill all the things that it can. Fortunately, skeletons are still shooting at the guy, which sometimes starts a war. But I am getting some wither skeletons. I also, as you saw, put in a collection system. Unfortunately, you won't get any skulls this way, but you will get some coal and bones. And I think that's all I'm going to do for this farm. Oh, I also added trapdoors in the middle there, so that nothing could spawn in there with him. But it really hasn't helped much just because skeletons shoot him. I also added blocks, half slabs there to hold him still and hopefully stop the skeletons from shooting him, but like I said, it hasn't helped. But then the skeletons just kind of flow in here, and then there's a gap that they can fall into. Let's see how this does over an hour. So we've AFK'd for an hour and we got 1 stack of coal and 3 stacks of bone meal. And 1 stone sword. That is absolutely horrendous rates. Let's just build up a whole new farm. This farm was designed by Voltrox. Link to his tutorial will be in the description. So this is what I got just coming back over a couple hours every 30 minutes I came and swung a couple times. So let's see what a good hour of actual farming this out looks like. So if you let it sit for just like 2 minutes, they'll congregate into 2 different piles. And it won't be long before they hit that like magical number of 25. I love seeing it every time. So in theory you could just let this sit and it would give you a few coal and a few bones, but you'd never get any skulls. So you'd need to add like a dog or something to this. But you could just use looting 3. And that's an hour. So for coal, we got 2,487. For bones, we got 3,399 in an hour. And we got 74 wither skeleton skulls and 29 blaze rods. This isn't quite what he claimed on the video, but that could be my fault. There was there the skeletons go again. There was a platform that was spawning some mobs that I didn't remove until about halfway through. So I don't think it would hurt it that much, but it is a factor. So I'll no doubt see how well this does in the future, but for now those are my results. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all the other YouTube things. See ya. And for everyone who stayed to the end of the video, here's a time lapse of me building up this farm.